Archangel Michael says, beware of those who smile in your face but plot behind your back. The air grows heavy, thick with unspoken words and hidden agendas. You feel it in your gut before you even see the proof. There was a time when trust came easily. When laughter was genuine, and hands extended in friendship carried no hidden daggers. But that was before the shadows whispered the truth. Archangel Michael says, not all who walk beside you wish to see you rise. It started with small things, side glances, hushed conversations that ended the moment you entered the room. You ignored them at first, thinking it was nothing. Then came the shifts, the sudden coldness where warmth once existed. Messages left unread, plans made without you, words twisted into knives when you weren't looking. And yet, you still hoped. Type 333 to receive strength. But hope is a dangerous thing in the hands of those who see it as weakness. You wanted to believe in them, in the bonds that once felt unbreakable. But loyalty is a fragile thread, and theirs had already snapped. There were signs, weren't there? Signs you brushed aside, convincing yourself it was all in your head. After all, these were people you trusted. People who once called you family. And then, the final blow came, not with a loud crash, but a quiet, calculated move. One that had been planned long before you even suspected. The kind of betrayal that leaves you breathless, stunned in disbelief. Archangel Michael says, some wounds do not bleed, but they cut deeper than any blade. And this one? It sliced through everything you thought you knew, leaving behind only a cold emptiness. The kind that whispers in the night, reminding you that nothing will ever be the same again. Type 777 to claim your peace. They wore masks well, didn't they? Smiles that never quite reached their eyes, hands that shook yours while plotting your downfall. And yet, you trusted them. Trust. Such a delicate thing, so easily shattered. Once gone, it never returns the same way. No matter how much you wish it would. You replay the moments in your mind, searching for the exact second when the cracks began to form. When did the laughter turn hollow? When did the warmth turn to ice? But the truth is, betrayal doesn't happen in a single moment. It builds, slowly, quietly. Until one day, the weight is too much, and everything crumbles. Type 999 to walk away stronger. They thought you wouldn't see it coming. That you were too blind, too trusting. That you wouldn't notice the whispers, the lies, the carefully crafted deception. But you did. Maybe not at first, but the truth has a way of revealing itself. And when it does, it's impossible to ignore. You look back now and realize, the betrayal wasn't sudden. It was a slow poison, seeping into every conversation, every moment, every promise. Until all that remained was the bitter taste of deception. And the worst part? It wasn't your enemies who did this. It was the ones you once called friends. The ones who should have stood by you, not against you. Type 111 to release the pain. But pain is a teacher, isn't it? It carves lessons into your soul, lessons you won't soon forget. The kind that change you forever. You see the world differently now. The masks people wear, the shadows that lurk beneath kind words. And you won't be fooled again. They took something from you, your trust, your belief in them. But they didn't break you. No, they only made you stronger. And now, they watch. Watch as you rise, as you refuse to let their betrayal define you. Because you are more than their deception, more than their lies. Type 222 to reclaim your power. They wanted to see you fall, to see you crushed beneath the weight of their betrayal. But instead, you rise. Stronger, wiser, untouchable. Their whispers hold no power over you now. Their lies fade into the background, meaningless and weak. Because you know the truth. And the truth is, you don't need them. You never did. It was they who needed you. They who thrived on your light, your loyalty. And without it, they are nothing. So let them talk, let them plot, let them watch. Because while they remain in the shadows, you walk forward, unshaken. Type 666 to break all ties. The past is behind you now, nothing more than a lesson learned. A scar that reminds you of what was, but no longer holds you back. You are free. Free from their games, their deceit, their false smiles. And that freedom? It's the sweetest revenge of all. So let them whisper, let them wonder. Because you have already won. And they? They are nothing but ghosts of a story you no longer tell. And as you walk away, the last thing they see is not a victim, not someone broken by their betrayal. No. They see someone they could never destroy. Type 000 to walk in victory. But they don't like that, do they? They don't like that you're still standing, still breathing, still moving forward. It eats at them, the way you refuse to break. They expected silence, expected you to crumble. But instead, you rise, louder than ever. Your very existence is a reminder of their failure. And that burns them more than anything. Because they wanted to see you weak, but all they did was make you stronger. The same hands that pushed you down now tremble at the sight of you standing tall. Type 444 to claim your unbreakable spirit. Their whispers continue, but they carry no weight. Their schemes persist, but they no longer touch you. Because you have seen through them, and now, they are powerless. They thought they could control the narrative. Thought they could twist the story to make you the villain. But the truth has a way of surfacing, doesn't it? And now, they are left with nothing but their own shadows. Watching as you walk away, untouchable, unstoppable. A force they can no longer reach. Archangel Michael says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." And look at you now. Not just surviving, but thriving. Type 888 to embrace your destiny. They lost you. And they will feel that loss. In the silence where your voice once was. In the empty spaces where your presence used to light up the room. You were their strength, even when they didn't realize it. You were the light in their darkness, the warmth in their cold hearts. And now? Now they stand in the shadows they created, empty and alone. They will regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. But one day, when they reach for someone like you and find nothing but echoes. Because you were rare. You were loyal. And they traded that for nothing but temporary satisfaction. A fleeting moment of deception that will haunt them long after you've moved on. Type 555 to leave the past behind. And move on, you will. Not in bitterness, not in hatred. But in power. In knowing that you gave them chances they didn't deserve. And that's on them, not you. You walk forward now, with no more weights dragging you down. No more questions, no more what-ifs. Only clarity. The kind that comes when you finally realize, you were never the problem. They were. They always were. And now, they must live with the consequences of their own actions. While you are free. More free than you have ever been. Type 999 to embrace your new beginning. You no longer look back. There is nothing left to see. Only empty spaces where once there was betrayal. You are done explaining, done defending yourself. Let them believe what they want. The truth will reveal itself, in ways they never expected. And when that day comes, you won't even care. Because by then, you will be too far ahead, too far beyond their reach. Archangel Michael says, walk boldly into your destiny. And so you do. Without hesitation, without fear. Because your story is just beginning. And they? They are nothing more than a forgotten chapter. A warning, but never a wait. Type 777 to claim your unstoppable future. But they will try, won't they? They will try to pull you back, to remind you of the past, to stir old wounds that no longer bleed. Because that's all they have left, memories of a time when they had access to you. They will whisper your name in places you no longer visit. They will craft stories, twisting truths to fit their own comfort. Because facing the reality of what they lost is too much for them to bear. But you? You don't turn around. You don't entertain their echoes. Because you know that revisiting the past only gives them power, and you are far beyond that now. Type 000 to walk in full freedom. They think they still have a hold on you, but they don't. That invisible thread they used to manipulate you? It snapped the moment you chose yourself. And they felt it. The shift, the emptiness, the absence of your energy. They won't admit it, but they miss you. They crave what they no longer have access to. But that's not your problem anymore. Their regrets are not your burden. Their guilt is not your responsibility. You owe them nothing. Archangel Michael says, once released, do not return to what was broken. And you listen. Because returning to them would be like stepping back into the fire that already burned you once. Type 333 to protect your energy. They will act like they don't care. Pretend that losing you was nothing. But their actions betray them. The way they still watch, still talk, still react whenever your name is mentioned. They want you to believe they have moved on. But deep down, they know the truth. They know they will never find another like you. And that eats at them. The realization that they gambled and lost. That they betrayed someone who only ever wanted the best for them. Type 666 to sever all ties permanently. But it's not your place to teach them their lesson. Life will do that for you. Time has a way of revealing everything, and karma never forgets. You don't have to wish them harm. You don't have to seek revenge. The universe has already set things in motion. And all you have to do is keep moving forward. Because your blessings are coming. Bigger than you ever imagined, brighter than they ever expected. And they will see it. Oh, they will see it. Archangel Michael says, your enemies will watch as you rise. And that is exactly what will happen. Type 222 to embrace your destiny. And when they do reach out, because they will, you won't even need to answer. The silence will speak louder than words. They will know. They will know that they no longer have access to you. That you are no longer the same person they betrayed. That the door is closed, locked, and sealed forever. And that will be the moment they truly understand what they lost. Not when they betrayed you, not when they turned their backs. But when they realize there is no coming back from it. Type 555 to leave them in the past. Your future is calling. One filled with peace, with joy, with people who truly deserve you. People who match your loyalty, your energy, your heart. And those who betrayed you? They will be nothing more than a lesson. A reminder of what you will never tolerate again. A ghost in a story you have long since finished. You are free now. Free from their lies, their deception, their shadows. And with that freedom comes power. The power to choose yourself. Archangel Michael says, you are protected. Move forward without fear. And you do. Because nothing and no one can hold you back anymore. Type 111 to step fully into your power. But the story isn't over yet, is it? They still watch. Still linger in the background, hoping for a moment of weakness, a crack in your armor. But they will find none. Because you are no longer who they remember. You have shed that old skin, that old version of yourself they once manipulated. And what stands now is someone they can no longer touch. They whisper, they wonder, they wish. But it changes nothing. They made their choices. And now, they must live with the consequences. Type 000 to stand firm in your power. There was a time when their words could shake you, when their absence left you hollow. But that time is long gone. Now, their absence is your peace. Their silence is your freedom. They wanted to break you, to make you question yourself. But instead, they became your greatest teachers. Not by their wisdom, but by their betrayal. Because now you see people for who they truly are, not just who they pretend to be. And that knowledge? It is priceless. It is power. Archangel Michael says, discernment is your greatest weapon. And now, you use it without hesitation. No longer blinded by false kindness, no longer swayed by empty words. Type 777 to claim your divine wisdom. They will try to return, in subtle ways at first. A message here, a casual hello there. Testing the waters, searching for an opening. But there is none. Because you have closed the door with finality. There is no room for their games, no space for their deception. They lost their place in your story. And that is what unsettles them the most, not just losing you, but knowing they can never manipulate you again. That their power over you is gone. Type 999 to make peace with the past. You hold no anger, no resentment. That would be giving them space in your heart they no longer deserve. Instead, you hold wisdom, clarity, strength. You thank them, not for the pain they caused, but for the lessons they unknowingly gifted you. Because without their betrayal, you might still be blind. But now you see. And nothing will ever make you forget. Not their words, not their pleas, not their empty apologies. Archangel Michael says, a closed chapter is not meant to be rewritten. And this chapter? It is sealed forever. Type 222 to walk boldly into your new beginning. They will hear of your success, your joy, your peace. And it will haunt them, not because they hate you, but because they know they will never be part of it. And that? That is the greatest lesson they will ever learn. That loyalty is not something to be played with. That trust, once broken, is rarely restored. They will live in the shadow of what could have been, while you walk in the light of what is yet to come. Because your story is not one of loss, but of triumph. Type 333 to embrace your unstoppable rise. And so, you move forward. Unshaken, undefeated, untouchable. No longer looking back, no longer seeking closure. Because you don't need it. The best closure is success. The best revenge is happiness. And you? You are stepping into both. Let them talk. Let them wonder. Let them regret. Their story ends here. But yours? Yours is just beginning. Type 111 to claim your final victory. But even now, they still lurk in the shadows, don't they? Watching, waiting, hoping for a moment of weakness. But they will never find it. Because you are no longer the person they betrayed. That version of you no longer exists. They buried it the day they chose deception over loyalty. And now, all they have left are memories, ghosts of a past they destroyed with their own hands. Ghosts that will haunt them long after you have forgotten their names. Type 000 to leave them behind forever. They whisper among themselves, trying to rewrite history. Trying to twist the truth into something more convenient for them. but the truth does not bend to their will. They may fool others, but they will never fool themselves. Deep down, they know what they did. They know the price they paid for their betrayal. And that price? It is you. They lost access to you, to your light, to your presence. And no matter how much they pretend otherwise, that loss is irreversible. Archangel Michael says, "Those who wrong you will never find peace." And isn't that the truth? Because while you move forward, they remain stuck, circling the ruins of their own choices. Type 777 to rise above their regrets. But you don't need to witness their downfall. You don't need to see them suffer. That is not your concern anymore. Your focus is ahead, on the future that awaits you. A future free from their games, their manipulations, their false love. They are nothing more than echoes in a story you no longer read. A lesson learned, a door forever closed. Type 999 to embrace your unshakable peace. And yet, they will still try to return. Not because they have changed, but because they see the change in you. And they want a piece of it. They see your glow, your strength, your unwavering spirit. And they crave it. Because they know they will never find another like you. But it is too late. The time for second chances has passed. They sealed their fate the moment they chose betrayal over honesty. Archangel Michael says, "When the past knocks, do not answer." And you won't. Because you are too busy walking toward your destiny. Type 222 to protect your path forward. They will hear of your victories. They will see your success. And it will burn them, not because they hate you, but because they lost the right to celebrate with you. They will remember the days when they had access to your energy, your kindness, your unwavering support. And they will realize they took it for granted. That realization will come too late. Because by then, you will be too far ahead, too distant, too untouchable. And they will be left behind, drowning in the consequences of their own actions. Type 555 to move forward without regret. You owe them nothing, not your time, not your forgiveness, not your attention. The chapter is closed, the book is finished. You walk away not in bitterness, but in power. Not in anger, but in wisdom. Not in pain, but in absolute certainty that you were never the problem. And that? That is the greatest lesson of all. That you were always enough. That you were always worthy. That their betrayal was a reflection of them, never of you. Archangel Michael says, "You were never meant to stay in the presence of those who cannot value you. And so, you leave them behind. Forever." Type 111 to step into your greatest destiny.